On July 31st, 1912, a baby boy was born in Brooklyn, New York. On this day, he was just another one of the 400,000 babies born. However, the birth of Milton Friedman, 100 years ago, changed our world forever. Milton Friedman's countless ideas have revolutionized the discipline of economic thought. Of his many innovative ideas, I would argue that the three most important contributions were the importance of monetary policy, the productivity of unrestrained markets, and the strength of choice in education. Milton Friedman had a huge influence on monetary policy. He asserted that monetary policy was a central part of the economy. Milton Friedman blamed the Great Depression on the monetary policy of the Federal Reserve at the time. He declared that the Federal Reserve had failed to prevent inflation, and emphasized that monetary policy must be kept solid and steady. Milton Friedman believed that it was the job of the Federal Reserve to keep the monetary policy consistent. He said that as long as the monetary supply in the country increased at a slow and steady rate, the economy would do the same. Friedman argued that when the government tried to tamper with the monetary policy in order to lower interest rates or impact the economy, they created unnecessary inflation and ended up hurting the economy. In the 1980s, this theory was confirmed when the Federal Reserve followed Friedman's monetary policy and the United States economy became extremely robust. Another important economic contribution was Milton Friedman's statement that an unrestricted economy created the most wealth. This was in stark contrast to Keynesian economics, which was the cornerstone of the New Deal and was commonly accepted economic practice. Milton Friedman challenged 20th century economic theory when he declared that economies did best without government restrictions. In his Free to Choose video series, Milton Friedman pointed out the success of places like Hong Kong, which allowed for truly free trade without restrictions. In the United States, the government often tried to put restrictions on the economy in order to be fair. However, Milton Friedman believed that the economic race should not be arranged where everyone ends at the finish line at the same time, but where everyone starts at the same time. What Milton Friedman meant by this was that government's role is to make sure that everyone has an equal chance to succeed, not that everyone is equally successful. Milton Friedman saw the prosperity of Hong Kong, or 19th century America, and connected this success with the lack of government restrictions. Milton Friedman advocated for a free market economy. He argued that restrictions on the economy, no matter how good and fair they may seem, stifle the economy, whereas a free market gives everyone an equal opportunity to prosper. Milton Friedman applied this free market system to education, and he championed the importance of choice in education. Milton Friedman said, "Education is best where the parents are connected and involved." Liberty Common High School is a clear example of that fact. It was created by people who were passionate about education and wanted an alternative. Parents of Liberty students make contributions to their child's education, whether it's through donating to the school, volunteering, or having the willingness to drive their student to and from school. The care and involvement of the parents at Liberty has helped to make it one of the most successful schools in Colorado. Milton Friedman was a strong supporter of the voucher system because it gave parents a choice in their child's education, and it would make schools more competitive. The idea of the voucher system is that after paying their taxes, a parent would be given a voucher, and with that voucher, they could send their child to any school they choose. This, Friedman believed, would greatly improve the quality of our schools because the schools would have to compete for students, and competition always leads to improvements. Milton Friedman understood that if people were to be free to choose, the freedom had to start at the very foundation of their lives, with their education. Milton Friedman was a proponent of the free market system. He showed the courage to challenge widely accepted economic theories. His intellect and innovation was shown through his many writings, and by the end of his life, he had changed the face of economics. He succeeded in persuading many people, including the United States government, to follow his economic tenets. Friedman's revolutionary ideas about the monetary system, economic restrictions, and choice in education all have had a huge impact on our lives. 1 century after his birth, we celebrate Milton Friedman, the ideas he had, the changes he made, and the legacy he left, a legacy that will continue for centuries to come.